Burgess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight shank.
Oh, straight in with the S word.
Sorry.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, guys.
it's all good. Yeah, we're just back episode 28. I checked which episode we are. I've
Hardest
already,
shot is the one straight after a shank, wasn't it? What do you do with the second one?
yeah. Well,
Let me explain it. So he was in the trees, and he chipped out from the middle of to the middle of fairway. And then
I need to
he,
even clarify that. I wasn't even a chip out. I had 175, had to rope it around a tree, and I tried to hit a 4 iron round it, and it popped up, hit the tree, like the fairway. So it wasn't even like a simple chip out. It was like, right, I can rope
Nailed
this
straight.
round, and thankfully it went in the fairway when it hit the tree.
yeah, so he got
Continue.
lucky, and then I was on the other fairway. So less said about that, the better. And then I just heard the clickiest strike in the world, and looked up, and a ball was 45 degrees right towards the houses. And he'd already got his ball out before it landed. So straight to a
I
lesson
could
today, wasn't it, Ethan?
Yeah, so it was three putt of the first. I played okay in the second. Third hole took an eight.
Wait, no, talk about your second shot in the second.
I've never heard someone say I played actually quite well on the second hole.
Yeah, well, I know, but no, considering what came next. So the first, well, there's three of us playing. It was the Victoria Day medal. For those who don't know, Victoria Day is like a Edinburgh public holiday, like a local holiday. So they have a medal at the Burgess, and I'm sure loads of other Edinburgh clubs as well. So we play. I was working, so me and Kemp we played it after work, say 5:30, whatever it was. And then our other friend Rich is kind of in the same boat. So we went out. First hole, me and Rich both three putted it from about 40 feet, 45 feet, something like that.
What did
And
I,
then,
what did I do?
uh, what did you do again?
I held a 34.
Oh, you did, yeah. So focused on my own game, so focused on
No,
I
my,
know you are.
yeah.
doesn't have a clue.
And then second hole, you kind of you can either hit driver over it. We had driver out, but it's 285 to carry, and we're like, no, that's not a driver.
Not on the second hole, straight out the desk.
No, so straight back, got our 4 irons. Both had good 4 irons. I think I'd like a 9 or an 8 iron in. Does that sound right?
You had an 8 iron, I think. Yeah, and you hit.
I,
And
it was a
yeah,
bit. I went to 15 feet, but it was not pure, and it was very close to an Egyptian fade, as I
yeah.
call them.
And he said,
But
"Oh, that was close. Got away with that one." And
I
then
was like,
third
oh,
hole.
got away with that one. So that was,
Fade.
I was like, whew, up to 15, like maybe 20 feet. Misread it, but sure, power, move on. Next hole, pulled it in the trees, did what we just said. A bit of an elaborate chip out in the end. And then it was like in between a 7 and 8. And I tried a 3/4 7 and I absolutely shanked. I mean, it was a proper, like,
Proper. There was
straight,
a lot.
Like
Rob, I was marking his card, and on the green there was no words said. Should we say?
yeah.
was
I wasn't even
it
angry. It
was
was
it
funny. Like, I wasn't angry because I was like, I said to the boys after that hole, so I made an 8. Said the boys after that hole as we were walking to the fourth tee, I'm not even annoyed because
No, you didn't. You didn't say that. You said I haven't shot in the H's in 2 years.
yeah, well, I said that. 4 years. I've shot 80 once in 4 years. And I says, well, I'm not even angry because I'm not even surprised that I did that because I got away with it in the second. I've been struggling with it in the range. So it's 5 over after three, shot three over, so I wasn't so bad in the end.
Thank
But
God.
it was yeah, that was the best time I could have booked a lesson. I had a lesson tonight, so on the mend, thankfully.
how do you get rid of the shank then? What's the secret sauce?
Um, for me in particular was I have a tendency when I'm don't turn enough into my right side, I actually stay too far centered and over rotate, which pushes my knees towards the ball. So
Hmm.
like my whole swing moves like maybe 4 or 5 inches towards the ball, and then my downswing's actually pretty good, but I've already moved towards the
Yeah.
ball.
You
So
said, yeah. You said you were swinging into your toes rather than your heels.
yeah, so even the guy like my coach David was saying, like your downswing's really good and you're not even too far from the inside. It's just you've moved your swing forwards and then you get what you feel is stuck because your hands like they've nowhere to go apart from head out
Mm.
of the heel. And you're going to start doing funky stuff to get the heel out of the way. So basically the lesson was trying to turn back into my right heel, move, feel like I'm almost moving off the ball with the
That's the
right
best. The
hand
best
back.
fix is keeping your backside backwards in it and giving yourself effectively. preventing a heel
Basically.
from going close to the club or the ball.
Yeah, like basically it was like you've no chance. I mean, your downswing would be great, but you've already moved your swing 4 inches towards the ball, so
That's a
you
good,
just need to move off the ball first, and then so that
that's a
and
good
had to
thing to
open up a
hear
wee bit.
at a lesson, isn't it? When your coach says, "Oh, you've got no chance to hit the ball at the minute."
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. You came at the right time. Rob, have you had any shanks recently?
No. I've been playing okay. Just it's just tough out here. Just tough. Not been. I've been
Talk
playing.
us through your last few weeks.
Played in Rome, miscut. Played in Barcelona, miscut. Cheers.
Well, not bad cities to go to.
No, well, we're not. We weren't actually in Rome or in Barcelona.
Ah.
Actually, it was as far from Barcelona as you could possibly. It was in the mountains of Spain. It honestly
Yeah,
felt like I
Prat
was
is
in.
like it's really far west of Barcelona, isn't it? It's almost in like a village.
No. The DP World Tour was El Prat. We played at Fontanals,
Oh,
which is a mountain kind of resort town in Spain.
Nice.
So it's lovely. I'd definitely recommend a trip there. Like the locals there, you can ski in the morning and then golf in the
Wow.
afternoon.
There's not many places you can do that.
Yeah. And the golf course was only shut 6 days during the year, even
Wow.
though you've got the slopes right next door, which is unreal. Like, and the course is class. But the had level strong this year, both cuts at the -4, -5.
Jesus.
And yeah, my game wasn't good enough to get to that. So lots of work. Had my coach out with me actually last week just to have a look in comp, just to identify tendencies because you can hit as many balls on the range when you're warm and swinging well,
Yeah.
and everything feels great and you're flushing it. And then, but it's kind of seeing what happens when you're out there on the course. Why his driver starting to leak a little right? Like it's minor stuff, like but it just driver starts to leak a little right. You're in the rough. You can't attack the pins.
Yeah.
You're putting from 25 feet. You're shooting one under.
Yep.
But shooting one under, two under is not good enough. You know, if
Well,
the cuts.
That's it. These boys are that good that 40 people are going to have 500, and that's it. You know, the standard's that good that the boys are going to shoot 500. A lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah. What was it like? Something like top 10. You had to be about 17 or 18 under for 4 rounds for top 10.
I did see some of the scoring. It was insane. I mean, I always check how you're getting on. Like on a Thursday, say it's like I guess like 11 a.m. and I'm like, oh, let's see how Rob's doing. And
Yep.
just look at the leaderboard and it's just 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 5. I'm like,
Wow.
these boys, like every week, these boys are good.
Yeah. So like you can keep playing all right, but all right's not good enough.
Yeah.
You need to tie it all in together, and I've just not been able to do that. But new week, new opportunity here in Denmark.
Nice.
What's the stats
So
saying? Is it mainly off the tee the past couple of weeks, or is it just a bit of
it's a lot to do with approach. Approach play has been usually it's my strength, and it's been a bit of a struggle lately. Just also a bit like you, just coming out of it a little early during the swing, so not letting the not letting it set. And
yeah, just
then
like me, Rob?
just like you,
How did you play the third?
you know how it is out here,
Did you make an 8?
right?
Yeah, the good thing is an 8 went down as a double bogey in my handicap, and one of my best somehow that round. So golf's funny, but yeah,
Oh, it's funny.
Tempo, how you been getting on? Well, I know how you've been getting on, but you tell everybody else.
How far back do we go?
Maybe
had a
from
1-0.
well, your first turn of the year was the Edward. We played that last month, didn't you? And
Yeah. Drove it really well. Shot 4 over 5 over my approach play is shocking at the moment. I've got an issue where I keep fatting my short irons, my wedges. I kept doing it yesterday as well. Need to figure that out. My 50 degree wedge. I can't stop fatting it. I had there's a 135 yard par 3, and I had 75 yards in at Long Nidri. Just fatted my 50 degree off the tee, so I need to sort that out. But apart from that, the golf's good.
It's like a phantom 50-degree, Rob. Like
I don't know what it is.
approach play, his long game's really good at the minute, and then he'll have a 50-degree in, and it's just like someone else is holding a golf club.
Is it just that? Is this just the one club?
No, well, it's mainly that one at the moment. But anything like a 9-iron, I think I'm leaning on it and it's getting really steep. So
Just
need to get to the range.
getting a bit nervous to hit it, and then you're
But that's it.
Just finish the backswing. Probably like one of the best advices you could have is just finish the backswing.
That's it.
Especially with short irons like and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that solves a lot of finish your backswing with tempo. And then that solves a lot of issues. Am I right?
That's
Ethan?
it. That's it. And we've got a Scottish stroke play qualifier on Tuesday, next
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday. So
Big one
18
there.
hole
Where's that at?
shootout, Prestwick St Nick's.
And we're out 10 minutes apart, one tee time apart, which is ideal for
Ideal.
our sustainability initiative here.
Yeah. Sharing journeys.
Carpooling. Yeah. I'll get carbon
Right.
credits back for that. So yeah, we've got spring meeting this Saturday, then you've got the marathon Sunday.
Running a marathon Sunday.
So I'm
That'll be
doing the
fun.
practice round on behalf of the both of us on the
Yeah, I'm
Monday.
gonna have to just ring him after that because I can't do it Monday. I might. I'll be in bits, I'm sure. So
You've got a good
Something, is
track
it?
record of playing courses blind, though.
I do. I think it's because that ignorance is bliss. I just don't know what's out there, and I think for me that is genuinely the best thing.
Yeah. You can't have fear if you don't know where the danger is.
Exactly that.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Sometimes in practice rounds you play so good.
Of course you do, and that's
Yeah.
it. Sometimes some of my lowest rounds I've ever shot have been at courses that I've never seen before, and I'm just kind of playing with someone who might know the course, and I go, "Where am I aiming? Oh, there, right, fine, we'll hit there." You don't think about the course right, the hazard left, and it's just a lot more freeing. But look, who knows? This course is quite
Yeah.
fiddly, so I think I might be pushing it a bit too far, but we'll see.
I've been watching Johnny Wilkinson. Obviously, Johnny
Mm.
Wilkinson. He's a famous ping pong player, I think.
Yeah. In a weird stance for ping pong. Actually, it's not.
Yeah. And he's doing these videos about his like mental and preparation and process before hitting,
Yeah.
striking kicks. And they're brilliant. And he did a video there the other day, and he was just saying how, towards the middle of his career, he got huge blockage on easy kicks. He kept thinking, well, if I miss this, then I'm in, like this. My job is to make it, and I should make it. And then when he thought like that, he was in so much trouble. And then he said, when he started changing, he's shifting his mindset at the end of his career, going from once he started thinking to trying to be too perfect, like you can't like, there's no, if you're good, you don't miss this, which is like the worst way to think. And then he started thinking, well, if I do miss this, well, it'll be the most beautiful miss in the world, and it'll be my own beautiful miss.
Yeah.
And he started thinking like in a seeing his misses like as an artistic, as a ownership kind of way. And
I guess it takes the fear off it, doesn't it? It takes the fear off those shots.
I found that absolutely beautiful, and I tried it yesterday. We had a pro-am, and it's
Ethan,
mental.
your shank was beautiful in its own way, to be fair.
Beautiful. I mean,
it was artistic.
It was artistic.
Artistic.
We saw a for sale sign in one of the houses, and they've just gotten a free golf ball if they decide to go through the sale.
So free golf ball and probably about 100 grand off the sale.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, Rob. I was going to ask you because we've got this qualifier next week. Jordan's not here. Jordan's not here because he's playing in a clutch tier 2 event. He shot 200 today. I think he's about fourth going into tomorrow. It's just 36 holes.
Very good.
So that's good to see. But his car broke down, so he's a bit stressed sorting all that. So send our best wishes to his car.
Best wishes to Jordan.
Yeah, speedy recovery. But Jordan was caddying for me at the qualifier last year, and it was like on a parkland course, bit windy. You kind of go. It's weird in a qualifier, Rob, because obviously how it works in this is that I think there's 103 players playing on Tuesday. It's usually it's 16 spots plus whoever drops out of the main field for the Scottish stroke play. So it's usually about 25 or 30. So do you want to think this way? You should have to be in the top quarter. Do you want to try and win the qualifier? Does that mean you go into aggressive? What would your mindset be, Rob, going into it?
Well, your only goal is to qualify, right? It's not to win it. And it can be a double-edged sword, right? You start off way too cautious. You never get into a rhythm. You're always playing with the foot off the gas. And then, you make some mistakes, and then you're suddenly thinking, oh wait, I need to start being more aggressive, and then your mindset shifts and you're not really ready for that, and then you hit some poor shots, or even worse shots, and then you can throw yourself out of it. It's just having a good solid game plan without being aggressive but sticking to it. I think the worst thing to do is to get up on the first and be like, 2 overs gonna make it. gonna hit 4-iron off the tee.
Of everything, yeah.
Yeah, when you plan to hit maybe even 3 wood off the first. You don't have to hit driver everywhere, but you can't be. The issue is the mindset that you leave yourself like with on the course. Like you still want to be in that space where you're thinking, I'm one of the better players here. And if you're resorting to hit 4-irons and 5-irons off tees, it's kind of already like, well, I'm gonna try and I don't really back myself.
Yeah, I think thankfully I qualified last year, but the approach was kind of just Jordan was telling me where just I said hit it not somewhere on the green, obviously pick a spot on the green, but just hit as many greens as possible because yes, you're not going to shoot 4 or 5 under being about 20, 25 feet away all the time, but you're probably going to qualify.
Yeah.
Because even if you have a bad putting day, like and you're hitting that many greens and you play the par fives okay, it's kind of hard to go wrong. So I suppose it's kind of working from the green backwards, maybe.
Yeah, green and reg will be like every boy that hits 12 greens in reg will probably qualify, 12, 13 greens
Good
in reg.
point.
So yeah, if you can think of it that way and not leave yourself, not trying to get around the green, but like give yourself a good, just fairway green, just solid golf without chasing. That's all. That's more than plenty.
Stress-free golf.
Stress-free golf. Probably not the same as like the US Open qualifier. Like to see the boys, I think was it 10 under, made it on the mark. One boy finished with 6 birdies, I think, in a row to hit the number and then lose in a playoff. Jesus.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you'd be absolutely buzzing, and then you lose the playoff, and you'd be like, what a waste of my best finish to a round ever.
Bolton Heath is tough as well. And they made it look relatively
Is
easy.
that where Matt Jordan qualified?
I think so, yeah.
They all played at the same spot, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was basically DP World Tour qualifiers. Hidalgo got in again. He loves the qualifier. He got in at the Open when we were there.
Donald,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So this weird mindset, isn't it? These guys going into these things that, to be good in that situation, you've got to have a good mental game. And again, you've got to have a game plan. His game plan is probably full throttle aggressive, but and if he was to veer off that and think I just want to qualify, he probably wouldn't do very well. So
Yeah, like the nothing to lose mindset, but without being like just disruptive to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You get there's like the right shot to hit, and there's no point if it's calling for a 4-iron off the tee, then hit it, but don't be hitting a 4-iron because you feel like you just need to get something down there. Like,
yeah.
If it's your strength off, I'd say if you're driving well, hit your driver. That's the easiest thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it reminds me of like when you remember we used to play junior stuff. Don't know if you guys had the same. We had this in Switzerland. Boys used to go out and be like, if it was a 2-round thing, they used to be like, you know what? And if they didn't have a great first one, maybe 782 or something, they'd be like, well, I'm going all out today, and it's either going to be 66 or 89 or 88.
yeah.
And without like a shred of an inch of a doubt, it was every time they'd shoot 88. Like, I'm gonna go all. It's gonna be 66 or 88, and without fail, it's always 88 because you hit one bad shot and it's like, oh well, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a wrong mentality to have. Like, same like at your qualifier, if you make a few bogeys early on, doesn't mean you need to start chasing either.
No, exactly.
Just stick to your game plan throughout.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You'd be surprised, like even like trying to make cuts out on tour. Like if you have a fairly bad first round, and you're like 2 or 3 over early on, and it kind of feels like you're out of it already at the end of the first round because cut's going to be 4 or 5 under, and then you might drop 1 or 2 kind of stupidly because you're trying to be way more aggressive and not picking smart targets anymore. And then so you shoot maybe 4 over instead of 2 over. And then in the second round, you go out and you shoot. Like, it's funny, you play such great golf after shooting like quite a poor first round. But you shoot 6 under. That happened to me a few times. I shoot 6 or 7 under second round. And you actually, those silly bogeys you made at the end of your first round when you were 2 or 3 over, that's what's made you.
Yeah, that's what's made
you the cut. Yeah. And it'll be the same with like at these qualifiers. You'll play with guys who get up to kind of rocky start, and then they kind of let's say their focus on like smart targets kind of loses they start losing that kind of let's say their yeah, their focus, their concentration in their game plan, and then they make a few silly drops, like trying to be aggressive with a chip or something, or hitting a shot that they shouldn't, and then in the end they'll miss out by one because
Mm.
they you make it come back or they have a good stretch to 12 to
Yeah.
10 to 15th or something,
He's not,
and
I
it's
mean,
those few
yeah, like I
silly
said,
ones. It's like just not making any silly concentration mistakes. And you're definitely going to make it because you're going to
Yeah,
have
you
that
just
stretch of 7 8 holes where you're going to play well, and that's what's going to make you go in it,
yeah.
get through.
yeah, you just have to hang around the number. Like I'm not, like last year I was a couple over through maybe 8 and then struggled to make birdies. Then I got back to 1 over and then eagled a par 4, 1 under, and it was blowing. I was like, right, fine. Then doubled the next. Uh, so went 1 under, 1 over, and then but then tried not to panic. I was a little bit angry after making double, but then try not to panic and then just par the last few, literally by leaving myself like 15 or 20 feet for par. No, sorry, birdie on the last few holes. And there's other boys who would do something like that and they would just lose there. They'd just be
Hmm.
like, I've just worked so hard to get back, and then I've just done a double, and then they would finish, say, another 2 over for the last few, and they would miss by one or whatever. So
Yeah,
you just
you're
kind
right.
of, you just, it is through, I suppose, battle scars as well, just to playing some of these events over the years. And like I saw boys with the college bags just ripping drivers in the range and like 30-mile-an-hour parkland course. And I'm thinking, you boys have no chance today.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And you see boys who are like on these scholarships shooting 85, 86 round a pretty rubbish parkland course. No offense, Haddington. But they've just no idea how to approach it. And the guy who
Yeah.
won the qualifier, Kenny Glenn, is like he's actually the county captain this year. And
Yeah,
it's just perfect for him. Like you just
yeah.
knew he was going to win the qualifier because he's just been there, done it, knows how to get a score in tough conditions. So he's kind of have to hang about. But yeah, hopefully we talk about
Game.
the PGA as in much detail as this. But yeah, so the PGA Championship over the weekend. What were your? Did you see much of it, Rob? Are you right in the golf course?
I didn't see tons of it, but from what I saw, I thought it was brilliant. I think once Rory starts criticizing a golf course, I always think it's gonna be a great golf course to watch golf on.
Yes. Yeah.
It. He criticized what the Chambers Bay and a few US Open courses, and every time it was a cracker. And I was like, when he came out and made those comments, I was like, here we go. This is going to be brilliant to watch. Which
Yeah.
it did feel like it was great because it actually finally, accuracy off the tee was rewarded. And
Hmm.
Yeah,
I know we go on this podcast about nailing driver because that's just statistically like that's just one of the best plays you can gain most advantage on. And that was one of the weeks where like he was one of the guys that actually he's one of the shortest hitters and he still hit tons of 3 woods
Hmm.
to
yeah,
hit fairways and you just like all the other players just saw him be so aggressive and hit in the rough and couldn't get anywhere near the pins.
yeah.
And it was just a bit of a throwback, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people tried to emulate what Bryson did at the US Open a few years ago and just bang driver, hope for the best. But it's actually not until after the event I've seen, like iPhone videos went out on the like Zyra Golf and all these other golf channels of like the angles, and you see that Jordan Spieth
Unbelievable.
pitch that he hit. You cannot.
Unbelievable.
I saw the. Have you seen the angle behind the ball?
Yeah, when the elevation change is
The
like
elevate.
20
You
feet.
cannot see that on TV. Like you can tell it's a great shot because of how much the commentators go on about it, and then you see that video someone's obviously taken on their phone, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like imagine going into that out of the rough.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you've no chance. But yeah, it was very much a plotter's golf course. And
It
but
was
what
it was it was a plotter's golf course, but it was still long. There was still 550-yard par fours. But again, when you go back to kind of what we were just saying about having a game plan, he didn't seem to let that bother him. Yeah, he is one of the shorter hitters, but he was hitting a fade all day. And there's a hole in the back nine on the back nine, and where you kind of have to hit a draw. And he slung this kind of 30-yard draw, and you were just the control he had was incredible, especially under that pressure.
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
distance one's interesting as well because yes, he's one of the shorter, but his average anytime I saw him hit a drive is about 170 mile an hour, which is tour average.
Yeah.
And you think that's short, but if you carry it 320 through the air and you're landing in that rough, it just stops dead. But if you're carrying it 290 through the air, it's probably rolling out to 320, 325 in some holes. So total, he's actually probably past
Yeah.
the average.
Even yeah, I say tour average, but we're used to seeing the boys who are at the top end of the field competing more, if that makes sense. It's rare
Yeah.
you'd see a average hitter
I know what you mean, competing to
if
win.
that makes sense. Yeah.
He still was though 151st out of 156 in driving distance.
Was he?
Just for the at the PGA. Yeah.
Wow.
Which
That's
is
incredible.
which is a crazy stat to win and be like that
And not
doesn't
just
really
win,
happen.
but win by
Yeah,
3. You
win
know, it's
convincing. Yeah, and that doesn't really happen anymore these days. Like guys that are that let's say that short, but that
Mhm.
have kind of dominant. He kind of took the bull by the horns there, and
Yes.
he went to win it.
But I mean, that course. I was watching an interview with Matt Tolman, and he said Keegan Bradley won there at 20 under. So I think that they a couple of years ago when he won, and I think they were obviously concerned about it being ripped apart. So they just made it so it couldn't be ripped apart by growing the rough up and tucking the pins, which
Yeah,
played into Aaron Rai. You probably saw that, like Patrick Harrington said. He said, "I love this kind of course because I can compete. If you put it,
Yeah.
if you make it like soft and the rough down, I
Roughed it
can't
out.
compete. And I think Aaron Rai probably thought the same. So."
yeah. Well, it was so hard to make a birdie on the pins that were
Mhm.
there, except for the par fives, that like you're hitting to such you had to hit the zone to zones. So if you had even if you had a wedge in your hand, you were still hitting to the same zone as a
Mhm.
7 iron or an 8 iron. So you're actually at your advantage of being able to you couldn't be aggressive anyways with the wedge.
Yeah,
So it did play a bit
good point.
into his hands there. Yeah, I
Because
remember when
yeah, like you say, because he would have had an 8 iron in rather than going like a Scheffler who was 2 clubs by him. He could hit a wedge and
yeah
stiff it. He still had to hit where Aaron Rye's like 8 iron would be. That's a good point.
yeah exactly. And then Aaron had the the advantage of because he was playing a bit shorter and just to the white playing hitting to the white parts of the fairway. So he's hitting to the fairway more times than the other guys and still hitting to the same targets.
Mhm.
So you're going to come out pretty like on top of it. Obviously, some of the boys, hitting into the rough, then your target has to shift. You see that one with Jordan Spieth. I mean, that's mental.
I've seen, yeah.
Major championship golf. I mean, it just TV doesn't do it justice, which is
Yeah, I mean, I
unfortunate
was
hugely
more
as well.
impressed. I wasn't really looking forward to it at all, really, because I guess the scheduling with the PGA being second major of the year now, like I think what made the PGA really watchable was that it was the last major of the season, if that makes sense. Pulling it into it almost just feels like a normal event, but the leaderboard was good. It was interesting. There was some people that you don't usually see up there, and I'm watching on Saturday and Sunday. It did feel like a proper event. I did enjoy it. Sunday was a weird one because no one really played well apart from Rai. So, but
Apart from that, Kurt Kitayama.
and Kurt Game, obviously, yeah,
He shot 7 under, and I was looking, we'll get into stats and stuff, but Kurt Kitayama that last round, I think it was plus 5.3 putting on a turf pro.
Jesus, talk
That was
about
insane.
cha with the putter. Yeah, how
I
much
know.
money do you reckon he made that day with that putter? 5 shots, probably about 1 million.
Michael
It's
Brennan was
unbelievable.
-6 putting on the last day. I didn't want to see, don't want to see his highlights. That sounds like one of my days in the course.
But it's
Oh,
funny, like you say,
oh, come
that's
on.
what I think. That's what Rory was kind of complaining about was that the field was stacked because, like you were saying, Rob, they were having to aim. A good shot was 25 feet away, so it became a 2 putt contest, and that's why then there wasn't many low scores, and it was quite stacked around par,
It was
um, because they were hitting to a zone away from a pin and 2 putting, which is
it,
you don't want to see that really, but it's also good to see that strategy in play.
yeah, but it was good to see such a bunch leaderboard, and then it was the question all week was okay, separate? Who's gonna separate? And it was wild that no one did except for one player.
Mm-hmm. But
It's
his putter got hot, didn't it? I mean, that's what happened, and that's what can
yeah,
separate. That's what the separation was. His putters got. He started dropping 70-foot putts. Like that's going to do it. So
But even then, he pulled away. But for a long time, I backed, well, to get into our picks as well. I think I said Scotty Scheffler, who we can talk about, but I had Justin Thomas as kind of my, don't want to say outsider because he's won PGA Championship twice and he's coming into a bit of form, but I wouldn't put Justin Thomas right at the top with obviously Rory, Scheffler and stuff at the minute, or even Schauffele for that. Um, and he posted 5 under, and you're like, yeah, I don't know what he'll get to. we were kind of joking in the group chat about what the winning score is going to be.
Yeah, I thought
For a
6 would be the
while,
number.
five didn't look completely out of it. Still
No,
looked like a
yeah.
long shot, but was it a lot of people around 6 under through like 7 or 8 holes? And
I thought if Cam Smith could get to 6, that would be the number. And you know what it could have been? I think because no one posted anything in front of him, he knew that 5 was a number. He was on, 4 or 5. If someone had posted 6, it would be a different mentality, maybe. But obviously he fell away. He finished 4. So
because
I
yeah.
thought Justin Thomas had, when I saw the scores, I was like, oh, Justin Thomas, okay, he's put in a good score. And then someone was asking me, do you think he's got a chance? I was like, oh, he's got no chance. Like guys are gonna, a few guys are gonna shoot 3 or 4 under through like 11 or
Mhm.
12, and Thomas will be done. And no one was making birdies. It was
yeah,
unbelievable. I
I
was
mean,
like,
if you look at the scores around him, so Justin Thomas posted 5 under, and he was in the clubhouse for a couple hours, obviously, before everybody else came in. 5 under ended up being tied fourth. The three players ahead of him, obviously Aaron Rai, but then it was -6 that was tied second, and it was Rami shot 2 under and Smalley shot level. So no one was really pulling away. Thomas shot 5, Rai shot 5. They're the only ones. Well, Kurt Kitayama shot 7 to just sneak in the top 10, but everybody else was level 1, 2 under. No one was pulling away really out of
Yeah.
like
no.
the overnight leaders as such.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we'll get into our picks. I said Scheffler. Bit of a weird week for him, obviously. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats here, and the commentators were saying he was pretty, his putter was pretty cold. He was for the week -0.42. He's actually the only red in the red putting stat in the top 18.
Right. Okay.
So it just shows you out of everybody just how poorly he was putting all that. It was his tee to green was +2.3, so he must have been just so frustrated with
Mm.
himself, chance after chance, and just missing.
Especially his Saturday, I think he lost like 3.5 shots on the greens. Or what was he putting on Saturday? Can you
um,
have a look?
oh wow, -2.29.
Wow.
That's what threw him out of the tournament. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
he's
the
got
putt,
that in him, doesn't he? He's got that in him of where he can just his putter can play him out of a tournament. It's the only club in his bag
Hmm.
that can take him out of an event.
yeah, absolutely. And just on the putting stats, and we'll get into your picks as well. So, putting, Aaron Rai was sixth for the week in putting, +1.71, which might not surprise people, but actually, as we've seen in recent events, it's not been so much about the putter. Um, but definitely this week it was hitting fairways and putts. And actually, in the final round, he was +3.93.
There you
Well,
go.
I mean, the 17th, he probably gained about 0.92.
Yes, I think he probably did. Yeah,
At least, yeah.
at least. That's probably what would that average from there be? What, 2.1 maybe
A
Yeah, two
percent.
from
point.
70 feet.
I think 40 feet is about even. I think 35 feet is 0-0. So no, he gained about 1.2 or
Yeah, I was
1.3
gonna say you
shots
get more than a
Actually, it means you have
shot.
three putt avoidance. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
actually gain. So, and just on that, I have another player here, um, just to compare. So Ludwig Oberg, obviously,
Mm.
tee to green stats this year have been brilliant. So for the week, he was first tee to green, +2.85. Round four, he was +1.38. So that's still
Yeah.
decent. But in putting, he was in the bottom half of those who made the cut. So he was, for the tournament, he was -0.22 putting, and for the last round, he was +0.23, so around PGA Tour average.
Yeah, yeah. So
Final round, and
no disgrace there, but we should have a little side note about Alberg. There's a team coming around here about him being in contention and just dropping
Yeah,
off on this
not being there
on a Sunday, just not even being
in the
just
picture.
getting out of the heat when it gets a bit hot in the kitchen.
But it's never
yeah,
his long game. It's never his long game. He's like you say, he was first, and he's probably one of the only players still using a blade. That's what I'd just look at. Surely he needs to look. I know, I know he prefers. I know you use one, Rob, as well. But if everyone around
Yeah,
you is getting mallets are getting more stable and bigger, and your numbers are letting you down in this on the Sunday, like just
it's different if you're top 10 putting and you've got a blade, but if you're
yes,
struggling in
exactly.
these events, and It is definitely not his long game because he's funny. Like he'll shoot decent scores round 1 and 2, and then 3 he'll like drop off, and then you go, oh, he's back again. He's
Yeah.
obviously hitting it close enough that he's still making birdies because he's given himself so many chances, but he just can't convert.
It's because he hits it so close, like a lot of the time, that you think he's putting bad because he just has so many 10-footers. You know,
You think it's his putting? Not sure.
I mean, it has to
I
be.
think
He did not hold anything, and he was free putting a lot
well
on the
So
weekend.
he gained on the Sunday when
Uh-huh.
he was thereabouts, which is like pretty good.
well,
It's just
for total he was sixth in strokes gained total for the tournament. I'll just go through them quickly. So putting, as I said, minus 0.22, around the green plus 0.57, so pretty
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Approach plus 1.28, and off the tee he was plus 1, and then tee to green plus 2.85.
I don't think it's necessarily a game thing. I just wonder if he has that dog in him. You
Mm.
know, if does he have that that extra bit that you need? Like Aaron
Yeah, yeah.
Rai, you can see he's got a bit of like he's very comfortable in who he is. He does what he
Mhm.
does great, and he's a dog in his own sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ludwig, he kind of just falls off the way a little bit in these when the heat comes up in the mental, like it's instead of kicking up,
I
which
get
is
what you
what
mean.
you
Yeah.
need to do to win. Like it stays level, like his long game stays as good the whole way, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that little kick up, that moment where okay, I need to seize this
Yeah.
moment, I need to seize the tournament right now. I don't feel like he's got that. Like the best example is see that bunker shot Aaron Wright hit, was
Oh,
it the 14th or something, the
yeah, yeah,
drivable
yeah,
one?
yeah.
He had like that 40-yard bunker shot,
hmm
and he's leading by 1,
hmm
and he's flown it all the way there
He was the only person to get it on that back tier out of that bunker.
and stopped it on top. Like that is seizing the tournament right
Yeah.
there. That is the
As,
moment.
Cam Smith had that same shot and just, knobbed it
Yeah,
out
as
to
you
make
said, Rob, and the first sign of nerves that comes up in the short game. I know he's got a slightly longer pitch or bunker shot there, but I mean, we know bunker shots obviously controlling your low point. Never mind from 40 or 50 yards. That's like a
yeah,
different level.
and he's leading by 1 there, so it's so easy to be like, you know what, there's no need to be aggressive here. I can hit it 20 feet short, or like subconsciously kind of, you obviously want to hit a good shot, but
You decel on
subconsciously
it and
you'll decel a touch on it, and you'll be like, oh well, 20 feet short's
it's
fine.
fine. Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
still be leading by 1, but that shot's kind of what won it. That's what won the tournament.
Probably was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in like which got him 2
Yeah, you're
ahead,
right.
and
The
then
confidence that would have
you're
ran
a
through
bit
his
more
game
comfortable.
after he's
Yeah,
took that shot on and he's done it. And on that tee, you'd have been thinking, right, here we go. If you can do that, you
yeah,
can win this event.
Yeah, because
that's
it's quite
seizing the
easy to play
moment.
that, like, as we know as well, like that kind of shot, erring on the side of caution and playing a bit of a chunk and run,
Yes.
just getting it to a
Yeah,
certain distance and knowing, well, it might run up there, it might not. Whereas the shot he took on, I mean, it was either going one or two ways.
Yeah, it was a shot he needed to do, and he did it. And I think that then, he'll have gone, like I say, whereas, like say, Cam Smith has just kind of dobbed it out there and gone, well, I didn't want to go long, so I'll take the 4 and go on. I'll move on. I've not lost anything, but you also haven't took the tournament by the horns. I think if you're going into a back nine of a major and someone said, would you rather be playing against Ludwig or John Rahm? You're taking Ludwig, because you don't want to be in the heat of someone who's got that, like you say, the dog in them. So
yeah. I could just see if Alberg was. I think he was in that bunker, and he hit it 25 foot short.
who's this?
Not
Yeah,
being
Cam
su
Smith.
Not being surprised at all. Cam Smith is,
Yeah,
as
no, he did
a guy.
exactly that. He did. He did.
Yeah,
He just kind of chomped it out. Yeah. So
exactly. A guy who's been struggling, kind of just not being in that heat
mhm.
for a long time. The live effect, not being on the tough golf course with really tough shots in the heat, in like heat of battle.
Yeah.
And then it's human nature to just
hmm
and you have to have something like that, something in you to
Yeah.
override that.
Yeah.
And Aaron, you could see he has that, but you could see the way he carries himself that there's something about him that he's so comfortable.
In himself, agreed. Yeah. In his
Yeah,
game.
I think he knows what
You're
he
right. You're
expects from
right.
himself, doesn't he? Like Ludwig has probably such high expectations because of how far he hits it. Not necessarily how far he hits it, but how
Just
close he hits it,
how good
how
How
he
good
good,
he
is
is, how
at
yeah,
every
impressive he
level.
is. Where Aaron Rai, you kind of know what you're going to get, and that kind of that kind of golf course under that pressure. I mean, even when he hold that huge putt in 17, his reaction, like obviously he was
Yeah.
surprised, but he's just so level-headed. Whereas I think Oberg does look level-headed, like, but I think inside there must be, not to say it's easy, but I think mentally, I think Aaron Ride's shown he can play, he can hit the shots he needs to hit, be sensible. He just knows how to navigate around, whereas Oberg's obviously struggling to put a round together at the moment, a winning round.
But yeah, comfortable. And then there's the other sense in like John Ram, who I felt he just looked like he was chasing
He's
something
trying
all
too
day.
hard.
He was trying so hard, and I think that's the live effect as well.
Mm.
Like
Yes,
it's
true.
nearly like you're trying to show that you're still can win a major,
Yeah.
which must hinder you like
Of course it does. Yeah, I mean,
mentally.
the par five they were all kind of trying to hold the fairway on. He hit that drive so hard. I mean, I've never seen him
Yeah,
swing so hard. But again, like I say, it was almost showing, look, I can sling it over that bunker. I'm still here, kind of thing. And he went rough, made par. Whereas Aaron Rise making an easy birdie on there, that drive at that 5-iron middle of the green and 2-putt and off he goes. And that was the
it's
plan.
easy.
So
Yeah,
Um, who did you pick as your winner?
I genuinely can't remember. I remember discussing Cam Young. He wasn't anywhere to be
You might have
seen.
said Cam Young. I think I said Scheffler first. You said, yeah, Scheffler's the obvious choice, but I think you said Cam Young again.
Yeah, we mentioned Xander. When we said we need someone with good iron playing, good off the tee, so he was up
yeah.
there.
I think Jordan had Xander in.
Yeah, well, Xander's interesting. It's obviously tied seventh up there again. His iron play and his approach obviously is his strength, and for the tournament, he was minus 0.43.
Okay,
And actually, his hottest stat was his putter.
that's
Um,
what's been letting him down recently. I've been slagging off his red putt in every single podcast. So there you go.
Yeah,
so I mean, he just hangs about every major now, doesn't he? Obviously, he was quiet last year, won two majors the year
Well,
before, and this
he's
year
been
he's
quiet.
just
Yeah. He's
I was
been
about to
very
say, how
quiet.
many backdoor top tens has he had?
It's a good
He's had
point.
a
Yeah,
few. Masters as well, was
yeah.
yeah. I
Just
was
put
going to
that
ask
out.
Rob his, but he's away out the
He's
window.
locked off. Also, side note, Bournemouth 1-0 up. If anyone's interested.
Oh, that is interesting. Not good for me as a Liverpool fan. Who else? Rob, who did you have?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you were back in Ludwig. You always back Ludwig because
I
you
don't know if
always
he
say
did
but
actually, but let's.
after the Masters, I've now I've turned on him a bit. I know I didn't back him for this week. I've felt like there's something missing
yeah.
in the moment.
We
Yeah,
said Fitzpatrick, I think, as well. Again, he was full of confidence, iron play, put in, but he wasn't really anywhere to be seen either. And we're talking about Matt. Actually, you've got to be careful. You can talk about Alex now as well. So,
I
yeah,
said
Matt.
Patrick Cantlay. Was he anywhere close?
Yeah,
Cantlay was up there at the start, so I backed Cantlay, and then he had a bad, I think it was second or third round,
I
and
think
he
you've
ended up
backed Cantley
finish
every major for the last 2 years.
tied 35th. No, I had him to miss the cut, the Masters, and then he showed me up. But he was one of those players that kind of picked out
Right. Talk
last
about
week
toxic
because
relationship.
because he's good in bent grass greens,
Yeah.
which is a bit ironic because he lost strokes putting. But yeah, so let's talk about another couple players. So Rory,
Well, he was hitting his driver so hard as well. I don't know. Again, I know it's a long course and he's trying to get out there, but we were talking about it yesterday. I'm not going to slag Rory's swing off, but when Rory's playing bad because he overdraws it massively, and he was doing it all day.
Yeah.
So he was either blocking it or overdrawing it. Obviously, he's stuck, and again, if you're not hitting fairways around there, you can't. The amount of times he was just hacking it into a front bunker, and trying to make a four. So
Can you see his fairway percentage?
he was
Stat?
last, wasn't he? He was second to last.
well, so he finished obviously Rory being Rory still finished top 10. He tied seventh. Guess what his best stat was for the week? Stroke gained.
Scrambling
Putting?
around the greens.
Putting, I see.
Putting, Rob, yeah. He was
Wow.
plus 1.33 putting.
Yeah.
Around the green minus 0.04, so around level. Similar for approach actually, plus 0.2. And that's probably why because off the tee still gain plus 0.89, but you would with that distance.
That's nothing for him. That's a bad driving week. Yeah.
But his approach, obviously, to be around PGA Tour average, just showed him that he was leaving himself no chance to get close because he
Hmm.
kept hitting it left. And then, as you say, as the round went on, he obviously realized he was getting too much from the inside again, then started blocking it.
Yeah.
Can you not
And
see? Is there no fairways hit stat?
I
Um,
heard that he was second to last in the field. Well, the ones who made the cut, I think. But he wasn't far off either. He was just missing it left on a good number on a couple of times. But again, if you're guarding the rough round there, you can't play from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think as well the issue with the stats is that they just see you in the rough and they count. So you're 350 yards in the rough,
Mhm.
and then you get a strokes gain from that perspective. But it doesn't quite tell you how thick the rough is, how bad your lie is
Yeah,
in the rough.
it's not
yeah.
week in, week
Yeah,
out, is it? Yeah, because like you
Is
said, I
yeah,
think it was Paul McGinley. You said he was driving it quite similar to the Masters, but he was getting away with it because
yeah,
the rough at the
exactly.
Masters, you've got trees in front of you, but it's short grass.
Yeah, there should be a statistic with like they should have a measurement of how thick the rough is, and
Yeah.
then base the stats off that. Remember that thing that the boy said in the podcast where stats are a bit like bikinis.
Oh, go on.
Have you heard about
No, but I really want you to explain it.
that? Yeah. So stats are great, but they're a bit like bikinis. So what they show you is pretty good, but
Yeah.
what they don't show you is equally as good.
Oh, very good.
I've not made a clip in a while. That'll make it.
That no, I mean it is right exactly because that they should for Aaron Murray, for example, he's off his strokes gain off a tee. I don't know what it was even. I forgot, but basically they should put more of a reward on strokes gain for hitting the fairway, and you shouldn't gain from hitting 350 yards in the thick rough. You should have lost quite a lot because you did lose quite a lot
Yeah.
in reality.
Well, because he's then losing in his approach play, but it's because he's aiming from the rough. You have to aim 50 feet from the pin. So
Yeah,
you're hitting a
Yeah.
wedge to 50 feet. You're losing shots for that, but you've actually hit a good
a
shot from the
great shot
rough
to
to
the
get it
green.
to 50 feet. So that's where the stats don't tell the full story like a
Yeah.
bikini.
Well, Rory was so got driving accuracy here 41.1%,
Wow.
which puts him about 12 off the bottom for the full week, like for everybody in the field, including
Yeah.
those who didn't make
It's
the
a
cut.
big field as well, by the way.
Interesting. What's really interesting though is yes, we put a premium on hitting the fairways, but the first 8 players in the driving accuracy stats, so from 82% down to 71% accuracy, all missed the cut.
Wow.
So that's quite
But
interesting. So you've
yeah,
got
but you've probably some PGA pros that hit it really like too short.
Yes, like your block and all
no,
that.
actually, there's some big names in here, or I mean, recognizable names. JT Poston was the top, Russell Henley second,
See, but these they're straight away both quite short.
PGA Pro Michael Block. Not talking about him. He's not getting a cameo on this. Tommy Fleetwood.
He'll be gutted about that. Tommy Fleetwood.
Was 75% accuracy. Yeah. He lost his strokes approach. Off the tee was actually his stats aren't too bad here. He lost a bit putting, bit around the green. Brant Snedeker was there as well. Andy Sullivan and Shaper as well. So,
Yeah, a
but
lot of very short players there
yeah,
Mm.
in those stats. Like the course was long. Like you had to
So
hit it.
long.
Hitting in the fair wasn't a premium, but if you're coming in with 3 woods,
Well, Scheffler hit a driver freewood into a par four on the back
yeah,
nine, and he hit the green, which is quite impressive. But yeah, it's kind of good to see, but you don't want to be seeing you don't want to, it's too long if Scheffler's hitting driver freewood. That's too far, I think.
yeah. I think another player I wanted to mention was well before we'd mention him, Padraig Harrington. You kind of
Yeah,
talked about him earlier.
yeah.
Who was it? Was it Smalley who played with Padraig Harrington? And he was saying
He
how
said he
he's
learned a lot. Yeah,
learned a lot from his temperament. I've marshaled at a couple of events with Padraig's played, and he is very chatty. He's
it's a part of his defense, I think.
I think he just loves the game. Like he just
Does.
absolutely loves the game. To hit it as like to work as hard as he has to hit it that far now is incredible. And just look here and see off the tee how well he did because he finished top 20, by the way.
Incredible. Yeah.
tied 18th. He
He
was,
chipped in on the last, didn't he, to make top 20?
yeah, tee to green. He was plus 1.52
Incredible.
for
How
the
old is
week.
he? 57, 50? What is
Oh,
he?
he's
Mid
54,
50s,
maybe.
definitely,
54,
because he's been the
55, maybe.
Champions Tour or the Legends Tour for a
Yeah.
while. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was outperforming for the tournament, like Justin Thomas approach. A lot of these players up here, like the guy Smalley who played well, Cameron Smith better than him, better than Rory tee to green for the week. Like
It's
that's
incredible.
just
Wonder
incredible
what the
how
odds
well
on
he's
that
played.
were.
And he actually lost strokes off the tee, so just shows you actually tee to green or as other parts of the game. I mean, everybody knows his short game is
He's
brilliant.
dynamite. Yeah.
Um, and he was about level for putting for the week, so he didn't even have like an
I don't
incredible
believe we're putting
putting
it.
week.
That was on his long game that he finished top 20.
So which is amazing. But the other player
Who was
kind
it?
of we might have a wee section about is Bryson DeChambeau.
Dear.
Oh, yes. Oh, dear.
What is going on?
I'll let Rob go.
That's a question.
That's the question. Jesus. Rhetorical question, I think.
I
Yeah.
mean, everyone's been saying in the videos up to it, there's a lot of content coming out that he's missing a lot of short puts. And I did watch that YouTube video, and he was missing everything. I don't know if you've seen it, but he probably missed 6 or 7 putts from inside 6 or 7 feet on a YouTube video. It was almost to the point that it looked like he was doing it for content. But you never know, he might be.
I mean,
But yeah, he's going.
I was going to say just from the stats front, I know they're bikini stats, but so his putting for the tournament, obviously only 2 rounds, but his putting was plus 0.22.
Okay,
So
it's not bad.
around the green, he was minus 2.08.
I
He was
mean,
fine. He's fired a couple of chips as well, and bunker play is for some reason
yeah,
not good.
there's something going on with his, like the wedge, those single length wedges are, they're just not great for if it gets too thick.
Yeah, that's
Because
a
the
good point.
length of your club is gonna get you.
Yeah,
Like if it's really thick up to a point, the club still is going through the grass okay. It'll actually be a nearly a benefit, which is what he had at the other US Open, because the speed will actually get the ball. You could still carry it a long way, but
Mhm.
there comes a certain point of thickness where the club just doesn't get through anymore, and you actually need more like of a stabby motion. Like
Yes,
you know
yeah, shorter
how
shaft, more loft.
exactly Rory, Rory getting out of it brilliant with his 3/4, like really like
Yeah.
shoulder to hip swings, grip nearly down the shaft,
Mhm.
just to because you just need more raw power at like a low center of gravity.
Yes,
And I
yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
with those long single length wedges in that rough,
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
going out
he
with
could.
yeah, it's like a 7-iron. You're further away, you're
Yeah,
not getting on top of it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
looking at his stats actually for the year, so 2026. Around the green has been an issue. Um, although this is the worst it's been actually this week, minus 2.14. The Masters, it was minus 1.83. So in the two majors, he's losing around 2 strokes on the field, just around the green. Um, saying
I
that,
mean, four shots in 2 days. That's a lot of shots
A lot.
yeah,
at
his
that level.
total's not been too bad. Like it's just he's a bit sketchy. So Mexico City was minus 1.63. Is that this golf course he kept slagging off because of the bear?
Yeah. So he kept
Yeah.
pinning out bunkers. Yeah.
No wonder he didn't like it. But then other times he's won a couple of times, plus 3 total, plus 2.81 total. So just losing that consistency. He's only had a couple of weeks where his around the green play has been plus 1 or better. All the rest has been around average or bad, really bad in the two majors.
And
Yeah.
I mean, he has been quite open about. Sorry, a bit of a side note, but he has been quite open about he's not too bothered about live ending because he can put more time into his YouTube channel,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. I know that obviously I know that YouTube now is you can earn some serious cash off it, probably quite comparable to a season on tour, but um, yeah, it's interesting to see that YouTube golf. And again, this is probably a whole other podcast, but YouTube golf now is becoming an option for these guys who are at the top of the game, not just people like a Ryan Ruffles who
Yeah.
is using YouTube to try and kind of build his brand, whereas Bryson's got a brand, and what yeah, YouTube is
I, I I think you can sense that it's part of like his insecurities. Like it's more that he needs to be loved.
100%. Yeah.
And I reckon that's why he loves the YouTube, and
Yeah.
that's why like it's more he has a personality kind of problem
Yes.
where
Agreed.
he just needs people to like him, and that's a problem for him.
He's real.
Like
He's real. Bryson comes out now and again, and you can kind of get
yeah,
little spells of, oh, there he is.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. You can smell it, can't you? And I think people are smelling. Like I'm seeing it on social media. Like he stopped, kind of went. It was horrendous at a bit, and then he slowly kept climbing, and
Yeah.
then he won the majors and started the YouTube stuff. So we kind of had inside access to a major winner,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, it's great to be seeing him so much, a major winner and stuff. And then it's like, oh, we're seeing him a bit too much now.
Yeah, I
Exactly. Yeah.
would.
Well, he's
Uh,
one of the only players who's kind of cracked under the Donald Trump thing, and he's always with Trump. And I think he likes. I think he loves being that kind of
yeah,
being
he
loved
loves
instead of feeling loved and center of attention. All the other players are kind of keeping an arm's length. You know.
exactly, but you can sense he's trying to be loved, and
Mm.
people are starting to feel that,
Yeah.
and they're starting to, and then because he's now playing the major championships because we've not seen him in a while at
Mhm.
the Masters and last week we're kind of seeing the real Bryson again come out because he's not got his own camera, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you know what, he's a bit of a tool.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah,
see in the comments, like people are it's starting to turn again. Like his stock is
Yeah.
starting
yeah.
to diminish, and it's a problem when I think this is what Rory said. He's like, um, you don't want to be on like golf is already on 4 days a week, and you don't want to be on someone's TV like so
Mm.
much.
Of course, yeah. You want
Uh,
to be an event when you turn up to an event. You know that.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
Rory coming 3 weeks off and coming. It's a big thing. It's great,
You need separation. Like you can't be on like, someone's TV the whole year, and then you're watching them on TV, and it just becomes too much of one person.
especially when he's like Bryson. You know.
Especially.
Yeah, I was going to say for a similar reason, kind of both what you said, that I think this is why he's, I mean, it's so easy to make, I don't want to say it's a sweeping statement, but when it gets to these majors, he has like YouTube videos about how I'm preparing for this major, play a practice round with me, all these insights that we're love to see, but then he's putting more and more pressure on himself to play well in the
Yeah.
majors, like because was it after the US Open with Rory, or was he already doing he was doing the YouTube, wasn't it, when he
Just kind of, it was
just
starting to
started?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So, but I think now, like, I mean, I don't obviously feel it because we don't have a big enough channel, but I feel like if we had a huge following and we were playing the Scottish Stroke Play next week, there would be a
Mm,
part of maybe like,
course I would, yeah.
don't make an idiot of yourself here because people are going to be for the right reasons seeing how you're playing. But we know a couple like content creators maybe locally or like in Scotland who are posting all the time and then have terrible scores and like
Yeah, yeah. Like his
you're too
USP
much.
over someone like a Grant Horvat or a Ryan Ruffles is that he can play the majors and he can win the majors. So if he loses that, all of a sudden it's not as intriguing, interesting, is it? You know, you go and watch Tommy Fleetwood instead. You know, he's a better guy. So
Do you think it's the YouTube stuff, or do you think it's also because I, he's now doing like playing municipal courses more and more.
it's a
He's
good point.
playing the community courses where it's like the greens are on six on a stimp. He's doing so many videos where he's putting so much of his time, even more and more of his time, and like playing with Walmart golf clubs around. Like
It's a good
he's
point, yeah.
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 using so like there must be like so there's a point where when you do that there's a benefit where you're having fun, you're light, it's great, you're getting the attention, so there's the automatic peak where you actually feel lighter, you feel much better,
But it's all
same
kind
as
of fake, you know what I mean? It's hollow,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so it's like a false sense of like this is all great, so you
Mhm.
got, and it nearly takes pressure off your own game because it's like, well, I'm doing all this. So when you get back to your own clubs, it's like a great feeling. You know how to start. If you play one round with like someone else's clubs and then you go back to yours, you're like, oh, I love my club so much. But then there's a point where that starts to, again, like same
Yeah.
thing starts to diminish where you do it too much, and then you're actually making no progress with your own clubs anymore.
Yeah. But I also
And
think it's more of
yeah,
I think it's kind of like a defense mechanism for him. He's got YouTube now, so it's like I really want to put time to YouTube and kind of pull away from golf. And I think we all know that what really makes Bryson happy is beating Rory in a major, but he can't do it right now. So he's thinking, well,
yeah,
I'll just go and put more time into YouTube because that's easy. Yes, it's hollow, but it's money.
yeah.
I'm getting views off a younger audience. But really, we know that he'd scrap it all if he could be a 5-time major champion, you know?
But
So
we also know at
100%,
that
yeah.
level, like it's different us going playing a lot of golf, then going on holiday for a week, coming back the next day and playing a medal and going, I've not played in a week. I've got slightly low expectations. Let's see what happens. You
Yeah,
can't
you're not gonna. I'm ready
really
for it. Yeah.
be a top performing pro. Like Rory was one average driving week away from winning another major. Like
Yeah.
that's how close it is for these boys at the top.
Yeah, but
Um,
they're prepping at a level to be
Yeah.
at that level, and
yeah.
then he's prepping like where he's
Playing
hitting
Carlos Alcaraz, which is great,
playing
but
from the red tees, playing
yeah,
through the scrambles and stuff.
yeah,
And then he's just turned
And
up
a
at a
break
PGA
50 with
Championship,
Donald Trump.
break
yeah.
50
I
with Donald
know, I
Trump.
know. And you compare that to like an Alex Noren or someone who's just, he's living it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get found out after a while. You're right,
I can only imagine what like a Roy Keane. Imagine what like this is like this is time like Marcus Rashford moment. Like
It is.
do what is your job? Like what is your job is to be the best player you can
Yeah,
for like in the world. Not like the most fun or the YouTube.
yeah,
But your main job is to like shoot
yeah.
66s
That's what's allowed you to do
in
the YouTube.
Vegas.
You
That is
know,
your job.
I'm just I'm
Exactly.
laughing to myself. I'm just thinking about this practically because like I'll have busy weeks with work or like Kempo, you're doing a lot of running for the marathon, so you're not getting as much time to play golf. And I'm thinking like you're thinking of a top pro, and Bryson's like, I can't see my coach tomorrow because I'm going to play 18 holes with Charles Barkley.
I know. Yeah,
Like he's like, I have to fly
Yeah.
outside the country to play 18 holes with Charles
and
Barkley.
that's it. Fair play. It's a
Something
big,
that
it's
it's
a
like it's
big
true.
time
It takes up
investment.
time.
Yes, a lot of time and
Yeah.
a lot of effort. It's a big business he's building. This is some. I know he's got a team around him, but this is people's full time jobs. Your grants and it's a full time job.
It's
And
not a
I mean,
business
from
that you can just like
you
hire
talk about
someone to do it
juggling.
for you.
Yeah,
Like he is,
yeah,
he is
yeah.
the main event. He has to be there. He has
yeah,
to have some oversight over it. It's just very
He's probably
consuming.
getting calls and emails as well all week and
yes.
like about
He's yeah.
well,
He's juggling too
should
much. He's juggling too many plates, and we all know what happens. You're gonna smash one. So
How many times he juggled plates?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's spinning plates. Here, juggling plates is tough. Here, we'll give him
You're
that.
editing
Is
stuff, Ethan.
But yeah, so
Uh,
we'll see.
brilliant.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, him back in PGA Tour obviously eventually would be great, but there's a lot to happen before then. But
Do a qualifier, he won't make it.
yeah,
That's a different discussion.
we need to petition for this PGA Tour playoff.
Yeah, no, the only way he'll get back on the PGA Tour is for a YouTube event. That's what it'll be.
What are we? It's him and Grant Horvath. We'll have
But
to
if right now, but yeah.
The
for the
Barracuda.
playoff. Oh,
But
one PG Tour spot between Bryson DeChambeau, Grant Horvath, and Fat Perez. One whole shootout with Walmart golf clubs. Winner gets a PGA Tour start.
Joey D has 4 putts from 20 feet to make the PGA Tour. Yeah, that's quite a good idea. Might do an episode soon on YouTube golf, and
Yeah.
we actually, if we get Jordan's friend on, we'll not name drop him yet, who's a very popular content creator,
Mhm.
and that might be a quite a good
Interesting
different,
one.
like a different angle to talk about.
Mhm.
That'd be brilliant, actually. Yeah, it's a good idea.
So yeah, I think that'll maybe do us. We did about an hour, so that's perfect. Yeah. So yeah, apologies we've not done as much content recently. I'll get some swings and videos off these boys and post them on socials. I've been too busy hitting provisionals and yeah, just general life. And then Rob and Jordan are back full time schedule now, aren't you, Rob? Back to back weeks for a while.
Yeah, first 6 in a row. Yeah.
Wow.
So no pints in Edinburgh for a while potentially.
Eventually.
So yeah,
Unless I win this week.
when this week, then you're going like, oh, I just won, so I'm going to have to play next week. But yeah, so follow us on Spotify. That's the best way to help. Obviously, subscribe as well on YouTube and on the socials, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.